Please join your hands as we welcome the achievers from Karnataka, Ms. Chinmay P, Mr. Sandeep Badad, Mr. Sagar, Mr. Manoj, Mr. Kiran Kamate. June 5th is a very important day in the calendar, not only for India, for the world. We celebrate this day as World Environment Day. The importance of environment, the importance of ecology and ecosystem to the world is nothing more than debated, but as it is. Today we gather here for the launch and orientation of a very unique initiative called DRONA. The first question probably is the theme itself, which probably each one of you can take a few seconds to answer, and then we'll have questions that we have taken in from all the aspirants that we taken. So the question itself is the theme. What separates a good answer from a rank-winning answer? To start with, probably Kiran sir.
First of all, good afternoon to everyone. Welcome all. So to answer to the question, first I would answer what is a good answer first, and then move on to what makes it better or even very good answer. So a good answer is one, I say, is answering first and foremost. The most basic is answering to the demand of the question. You don't have to first think of value addition or I'll bring that data, this figure, that schematic, that is all secondary. It is first and foremost understanding what is the demand of the question. So if you're not hitting the bullseye there, if you're not understanding and the demand of the question and writing anything beyond that, I think that will not be a good answer in the first place. So first and foremost, it should hit the demand of the question. You have to understand the demand of the question. Then conceptually, I think, yes, presentation would be the second one. The presentation can be paragraphs or points, but usually it is in GS, it is a point-wise format. So you have to write in a very legible and in a structured format. That would be second. So then I feel that even handwriting to an extent matters, sir. So that also has its share into making an answer a good answer. Now, what makes it a very good answer? The exact framing is what makes a good answer? What separates a good answer from a rank-winning answer? So I feel, so now this is when the value addition starts happening. So most people, I feel that irrespective of whether they've given mains or any serious aspirant who has spent 1 or 2 years, you throw a topic to them, at least I feel that a base level answer will be written by them. They will be able to comfortably come up with 5-6 points each for each of the demand. Now, what makes it very good answer or an ranker level answer is that, yes, I have answered the demand of the question, yes. Now, the recent trend has been that there's something called as the implicit demand and the explicit demand. Now, till probably in the last 2 to 3 years, till then, I would say, or till 2022, the trend was that you are answering only to the explicit demand of the question. You've understood the question, you've broken down into multiple dimensions, then you are answering just to that. That is the explicit demand. Now it says, a question says, these are the challenges related to, explain the Food Security Act. These are the challenges in the Food Security Act. That's it. It is ending at challenges. Now, 22 or maybe before that, it would have ended at just explaining the Food Security Act, the challenges in procurement, etc. Challenges with that, that's it. Now the trend has been set to understand the implicit demand. The implicit demand is that, okay, these are the challenges. Now what should be done? That is the way forward. That was not explicitly asked in the question. Be it 10 marker or 15 marker, my advice is you have to identify one implicit demand and address it as a part of your question. So as a part of your answer. So that is something is, I feel, is a good answer. Then comes the lot of value addition. It can be data, facts, figures, schematics, code judgments, committees, recommendations, subject specific keywords. Now, I think that should be again a bottom line, answering using subject specific keywords. If I'm reading environment answer, it should sound like an environment answer. If I'm reading Indian society answer, it should feel that I'm reading. So subject specific, theme specific keywords, all the value additions, answering to the demand of the question, breaking it, and answering, identifying one more implicit demand. This I feel is a good, and also how you end at the end, the conclusion part. Most people, they start off very well with the introduction, with the body. Most people do that. Conclusion, they usually just neglect it, or they feel that, or even if the conclusion is there, it just tapers off. It doesn't really summarize what you've told, or I will say conclude with conviction. So you have to conclude with conviction. It should have that the right words, the energy, and then it should not just taper off, but also concluded with convictions. So this is what I feel. So I feel that while you're preparing, it's both for 26 as well as 27 means. The thing is, while preparing, think of content first, then structure, then time. Most people say, like, even they've not started answer writing or just started answer writing, they ask, how should I finish it within 7 minutes, 7.5 minutes? How should I finish it within 11 minutes, the 15 mark? No, that timing should not be a priority when you're starting. When you're beginning answer writing, your focus should only be on accumulating a lot of content, reading them, revising them. Then you are structuring that content based on the demand of the question. Then you are looking at how do I improve this again? What extra can I bring in this answer? Then you worry about the time. While this is during the preparation phase, during the this gap, mains gap, or for the till the next next attempt. Now, on the day of the exam, this priority gets exactly reversed. On the day of exam, now you're thinking of how do I finish it, then how do I structure it, then worry about the content. So this should be a priority, and this is how you have to do now. So what happens is, now around the year, when your content is being, you're curating your content, improving upon it, doing value addition, and then structuring it, and then worrying about the time. By the time, because you've spent so many months curating your or bettering your answers or content, refining your content, on the day of the exam, when I've asked you to reverse the priorities, don't think that your content will get, just because I've said content last on the day of the exam, it does not mean that you're writing poor answers. That itself has internalized so much, refined so much, that even when you're putting at third priority, still you're writing very good answers. So timing, when on the day of the exam, timing first, structure next, then content. So this should be the priority, and I hope that you get that priority right. And as Sagar said, first start writing first. That's the basic. Directly day one, don't think how will I write like Sandeep Badad, or how will I write like Manoj GS. That should not be a priority. They did not become rank ATT or whatever rank just on the day day of the paper. It happened over the years, accumulated, incremental. Mains, I feel, answer writing, the key to answer is incremental changes, incremental improvements. Unlike prelims, where I give some tricks or tips, or some institute gives, the next test you might say a lot of changes. That works for prelims, but for mains, no. Even with all these things, tomorrow you cannot immediately have a very good answer. It is going to take time. It is going to be incremental changes. So the idea is involvement, consistency, and as I said, curiosity. Curiosity as to what extra should I do to get my answer or make my answer even better. So always my suggestion is, take the feedback that comes from the mentor or the evaluator seriously. Then also start to learn self-evaluating. You should always not be too dependent, like I need mentorship, I need this, the evaluator, I want someone to evaluate my. Yes, at certain point, yes, initially, but after that, I think you have to understand the psyche of the evaluator on your own and understand. So a simple key to this is, don't be contented with the kind of answers you're writing. Always try to think what more I can do. Even when you're getting like 5 out of 10, make an effort to get extra half marks. I will try to make it 5.5 out of 10. if I'm getting 4.5, my effort would be to make it 5 out of 10. The challenge or the idea behind mains is fighting for that half mark. So for 20 questions across 4 papers, that is 80 questions, you improve just half a mark for every question. You are essentially improving 40 marks. And include that with the optional subjects, 19, I'll roughly take it just for the sake of calculation, another 20 marks there, 40 into 0.5. So this is 60 marks evaluation just because you are relentlessly thinking of getting that half mark for every question. So there is no miracle or pavada agala answer rating. The pavada is going to happen on everyday basis. The pavada or the miracle that is going to happen on everyday basis with your own efforts, consistency, and the relentless aim to improve your answers. And I think also I feel that is where maybe you must have studied on your own for prelims as an individual because you like reading solo. But for mains, I feel that is where peer discussion or mentors feedback, that is where it comes in, because every answer needs fresh perspective, new way of looking at the same thing. Especially I feel for essay and ethics, you need perspectives. And that was what I was discussing with Sandeep, and we are as humans limited in our perspectives, and you cannot have all the thoughts, all the perspective, all different personalities and bring it directly or very naturally in your answers. So you would need inputs from others. Compare your answers with the topper copies. Maybe start writing answers to the questions that the toppers have already written. So that gives you a gauge as to what is the deficit. So only when you have written bad answers, then you can improve and make it into good answers, and then you can improvise on it to make the rank level answers, as sir is wanting us to do. So the idea is start writing first. Don't expect that it will be a very good answer on day one. It is going to be a very tedious, long drawn process, but that is why we are here to help. And I think that is why I feel whatever I said is the initiative is just amalgamation of all those things that we've just discussed.